everyone, and welcome back to my weekly Shop My Stash. And here is a recap of what we went through last week. For highlighters, I had Becca Opal, I believe. Yes, Becca's Opal. And that's what that one looked like. Love it, used it, enjoyed it, no problem. This is by Revolution Beauty, the I Heart Revolution Apple Cinnamon Heart. It's a highlighter. I used this once, and you know what? It's beautiful, but I don't like ones that have all the different variants in it like that. I just find it's too hard to get a consistent look on both sides. You know, one side might be a little bit deeper, one side might be a little bit lighter, and I just don't enjoy it so much. I mean, it's pretty to look at, and it was an okay highlighter on. It wasn't super dark, but I think I'm going to just pass this on to my kids, my girls, because I know it's something they will enjoy using. I also used this Pure Midnight Masquerade face palette, and this is what it looks like. It does have the eyeshadows here, and then it has a couple of blushes and a highlighter and a bronzer, and I'm going to pass this along as well. The eyeshadows aren't super unique to my collection. This green one is a little bit, so I might depot that one. We'll see. I'm still looking to see if there's anything else in my collection that matches that, but that's the only thing. These blushes I can match pretty easily in my collection. I don't like this bronzer. It's too shimmery. I'm not going to use it on my eyes. And this highlighter, it was pretty, but again, I have so many highlighters, I can match that and I won't miss it. So I'm going to pass this along as well. For blushes, I had this sugar blush in the shade Peach Peak, and it was nice. I wore it once or twice, I believe, and I really enjoyed it. I didn't have a problem with it at all, so that will be staying in my collection. And then I also used this Milani baked blush in Fantastico Mauve, and that's what this one looks like, and a really pretty blush. You do have to go in a little light-handed because it can be super deep, but it just has like a nice sheen to it just from that swirling of that gold in there, but a really pretty color this time of year as well. So I really enjoyed using that one. Then normally I would do random number generator, but last week, and I'm going to do the same thing for this week, I just had an influx of new palettes that I got. So last week I just picked 5 of the new palettes that I got and I used them. And spoiler alert, I'm going to do that for this week as well. Just take the other 5 that I got and use them. But nonetheless, they were new palettes to me, and I did wear them at least once each. Some of them I wore twice, but they were all really nice palettes. This is the JCat Extreme Access Pocket Shadow, and really nice. I used this, I think I used them all once except for the one palette. But I really enjoyed this. I really was surprised by the quality of it, and it lasted all day, and I didn't have any problems, and I just had a really pretty look with it. So not mad that this is in my collection. Same goes for this Too Faced Razzle Dazzle, yeah, berry eyeshadow palette. Very pretty. This shade here, it looked wet on the eye. It was just absolutely stunning, and just a really easy look that I was able to come up with this palette. So I really enjoyed that. The Frost palette, again, I was surprised at how well the mattes worked in here, because usually, not always, but sometimes with more affordable palettes, the mattes aren't always the greatest. Shimmers are usually pretty good, and again, no complaint with shimmers in this, but the mattes were absolutely beautiful, and I really enjoyed using this. And then the Cherry palette, I absolutely loved using this palette. It was so nice. I was surprised at how much I enjoyed using this. Yeah, I was never interested in the Naked Cherry palette, but having this in my collection now, I'm just like, yeah, I'm glad I picked this up. I'm glad I didn't spend a fortune on and getting the Naked Cherry, because this is really good, but nonetheless, I'm glad to have it. And then I have this I Heart Revolution. It's just called the Popcorn palette, even though it says sweet and tasty on the front here. And let's see, can I get it open? There we go. And another really, really pretty palette. I really enjoyed wearing this. I think I wore this the most this week. I think I wore it twice, maybe 3 times. Can't remember. But yeah, I loved all the looks that I had with it. Never had any problems with it. It wore beautifully. Everything blended really nice. And just an all-around really nice palette. Again, not a fan of the packaging. I'm not a huge fan of this kind of rubbery front that they have going on, but nonetheless, it's an okay, you know, it's not as bad as some of the other ones. The other thing that I did end up having come in my collection I did use was this Cheekleaders palette, and it's the Bronze Squad one, and I did get this for free. I used my optimum points. If you're here in Canada, you're probably familiar with it. It's just basically a reward system, and I had enough that I could get this at no cost. Well, basically, I mean, I had to pay tax on it, but that's okay. But beautiful. I mean, I don't have any of these benefit things. I've always wanted to try the Hoola bronzer, so now I have it. I also have the Hoola caramel. This cookie highlighter, everyone raves about it, and I'm like, it's not going to be that great, but I mean, that's kind of why I went for this, because everyone was raving about it, and with good cause. That is a spectacular highlighter. It is so pretty. It looks so nice on the skin. Gold Rush and Coralista, no problems with those. Enjoyed wearing them as well. So yeah, I'm happy I picked this palette up. So it's kind of new to my collection. It wasn't in last week's Shop My Stash as what I was using, but I used it nonetheless because I wasn't having this Masquerade thing. I think I tried it twice, I think, and then I was just like, yeah, no, I'm done. Okay, so as I mentioned earlier, I did have a bunch of palettes that I ended up having come into my collection. So there was 10 in total, so I did 5 last week. I'm going to do the other 5 this week just so I can get them into my collection and in rotation for the Shop My Stashes like I normally do with the random number generator. So these are the 5 for this week that I am going to be using. I have the I Heart Revolution Chocolate Cherry Palette. Oh, false nails, don't come off. And this is very similar to that other cherry palette that I had from Ccolor Cosmetics. I was looking at it and it's pretty dupable. You definitely don't need both of them, but of course I wasn't thinking that when I picked both of them up. But I'm looking forward to using this one as well because it is very pretty looking. Then I have this Galmlite palette, the Alondra Dessy palette. And this is a really nice warm tone palette. It has some beautiful fall shades in here. I'm really looking forward to using this one this week. We have the Ccolor Golden palette, which is a dupe for the Natasha Denona Gold palette. And then I have the Unisex 5 from Ccolor Cosmetics, and I believe this is a dupe for the Lemonade palette from Dominique Cosmetics, I think is the brand that had that. It has, you know, it looks kind of springtime when I first started looking at it, but I mean, it has a lot of fall colors in there too, so I think we can get some nice fall looks out of that. And then I have the Unisex 3 by Ccolor Cosmetics, and this is a dupe for a Jeffree Star palette, maybe the Androgyny palette. I'm not sure. I'm not really familiar with a lot of his palettes and the names of them, but just, these colors, like fall all the way. So those are the palettes that I will be using this week, and then I will pick some blushes and some highlighters to go along with them. Okay, so this is my blush and highlighter drawer and my bronzers. So I do kind of know what I want to pick for blushes because I went to Winners, which is like a TJ Maxx Marshalls type of store here in Canada, and I did find another ABH blush palette. This is, nope, that's not the one. Which one is it? I found this one in the shade Pool Party. So this is one that I do want to use. And then I also found, nope, this one by Too Faced, and it is part of their fruit cocktail things, and this is in the shade Pomegranate, so I want to try this one as well. And then for highlighters, I was really thinking about, what was it? This one this past week. It looks pretty pink in the pan, but it is a really pretty pink highlighter, so I'm going to pick that one. And then which other one should we do this week? I think I'll pick this one. This is by, here's this one. Oh, this is a Ciate London one, and it is in the shade Moon Dust. So yeah, I will pick this one as well. And then now we will pick a face palette. And this is my face palette drawer. So what should I pick this week? I always pick one face palette. Some of them have bronzers, some of them are just blushes. Because I do have so many blushes kind of picked right here, right now, I think I'm going to try and find one that has more bronzers in it. Do I have one like that? I don't think I do. You know what I'm going to do for a face palette this week? And I know, controversy, oh my, but I already owned it. Whatever. I have the Kat Von D Alchemist palette. This is like a highlighting palette, but it's got the duochrome, like with the different shifts of color in it. So I think I'm going to use this and specifically maybe focus this on the inner corners of my eyes. Maybe use it as a highlighter a bit because I only have the 2 picked out. But I mean, I kind of have 5 blushes picked between those 2 that I picked from the other drawer. So I think this will work well this week without me not being able to use the other blushes as much. So yeah, I'm going to pick this as my face palette for the week. So the first one I have here, it's hard to see with the lighting here right now, but this is Ciate London. This is the one in Moon Dust. And this is a swatch of it. And then this is the Dirty Little Secret. Again, hard to see. I'll open it up. It's hard to see with this lighting here. And this is in the shade Bellissima. And here is a swatch of that one and what it looks like. And then the Kat Von D Alchemist palette. This was kind of advertised as a highlighting palette, but also as one that you could use to kind of transform your shadows. There is the emerald green, and there is a blue sapphire, there's a ultraviolet amethyst, and a pink opal in here. So a lot of variation in there, and they do work to transform your shadows, but I'm not someone to do that usually. I don't think of it often enough. But I do like this as an inner corner highlight for a lot of the times, just to add a little something different to a look. Then I have the Anastasia Beverly Hills Pool Party trio. That's what that's called. And that's what this looks like. And these are the swatches of this one. And then again, the Too Faced Pomegranate duo. And that's what this one looks like. And here are some swatches. Okay, someday I will figure this out and maybe rearrange this better so that the lighting's better. But this is everything that I'm using this week for my Shop My Stash. As always, I'm just going to be picking randomly the lip colors and my bronzer and my mascara and all that kind of stuff, just because I like to pick it depending on the look that I come up with my eyeshadow. So that's what I generally do. Let me know in the comments below if you do Shop My Stash and what you have going on this week. I'd be curious to know, especially if anything is similar. You know, fall is just kind of starting and people are getting more into those colors and that sort of thing now. And I think I got a couple of good palettes here that will reflect that in the season as well. Thank you so much for watching, everyone. I hope you enjoyed this video and I hope you have a great week. Take care. Bye-bye.